Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to wdbj7 Plus. I'm Michaela Shelton. Happy Monday. Hopefully you had a good weekend and were able to celebrate with your mom, your grandmother, all the amazing moms out there. I know I had a really good time just being with family and enjoying. It was such a beautiful weekend too. The weather was perfect. And so, yeah, hopefully you got to enjoy that. And now it is back to the grind, back to the work week. And so we're going to get you prepared with everything you need to know to get your work week started. We're, of course, going to take a look at your First Alert hometown weather forecast coming up here in just a little bit. Meteorologist Tanner Brammer is going to join us to talk about what we can expect for the week. It is quite a rainy, gloomy day, so we're going to see just how much longer that's going to last for us. And we're going to start with our top local headlines for today. And we are going to begin over in Pittsylvania County, where this man, officers say Jamie Ocasio Padilla, has been arrested in connection to an alleged homicide. At around 8:30 yesterday morning, the body of 39-year-old Myra Gonzalez Galvin was discovered in the 5800 block of Cascade Road. A young child was also inside the home but was unharmed. Police say the suspect and victim were the parents of the child. Ocasio Padilla is charged with first-degree murder, armed burglary with the intent to commit a felony, and use of a firearm in the commission of a murder. The circumstances surrounding the alleged murder are still being investigated. And starting today, speed cameras are going into effect on I-81 through mile markers 143 to 150 in Roanoke and Botetourt counties. The cameras will be monitoring vehicles going north and southbound through the work zone area, which posts a 60-mile-per-hour speed limit. The first 30 days of the activation will act as a warning period. After that period is over, speeders will start to see a $100 citation with no damage to driving records or vehicle insurance. VSP says the initiative aims to prevent crashes in the work zones and to protect workers as they continue construction on a widening project between the 8-mile stretch.
I think it's a good idea. You know, there are a lot of countries that I travel in where they have speeding cameras, and if you have rented a car, you don't leave the country until you pay your speeding ticket. And the speeds are really getting higher and higher, especially in the work zone areas, and I'm guilty of that myself.
And all fees collected will go toward the counties where the citations are being served, as well as the Virginia Literary Fund, which helps with school construction, technology funding, and teacher retirement. So, yeah, definitely want to be aware of that if you are traveling through or down I-81 anytime this week. So, as we know, Mother's Day was this weekend, but getting bouquets to your mom's doorstep isn't as easy as it used to be. Local florists say rising fuel and freight costs are making it harder to deliver bouquets. So our very own Connor Arthur shows us how businesses in Roanoke are working to keep arrangements affordable.
Mother's Day is one of the busiest holidays of the year for most flower shops across the United States, including right here in our hometowns, where some owners tell me it's a lot harder to get those flowers delivered than in years past, especially with a rising cost at the gas pump. According to the National Retail Federation, approximately 75% of Americans are purchasing flowers for Mother's Day, but that will come at a cost, as they also expect nearly $38 billion to be spent. Georgia's Flowers, a Roanoke staple, has been in business since 1981. Co-owner Doug Lindemood says around 85% of their products come from Latin America. Getting those flowers into the shop hasn't been easy.
There are fuel surcharges for the jet flights. Then there are fuel charges to get it from the port of entry, which is Miami, to us. And that's about 28% more than we paid last year in freight charges. Then you have our delivery fleet, and fueling that is about 40-some% higher this year.
And for the shop, their delivery trucks also double as refrigeration units that run on diesel fuel. But the impact isn't limited to businesses.
It's also affecting our customers, you know, because they're having to pay so much more at the pump. They might not have quite as much in their pocket to buy mom flowers or their wife flowers. And we're cognizant of that, and we did try to bring in some lower price things for that reason, and that's been very well received. People appreciate that.
As for places like Green Designs LLC in Southwest Roanoke, they say the U.S. mileage reimbursement rate of 72 cents is not helping.
We have 2 delivery vehicles for the shop, and we're using the employees' personal vehicles. So we have to pay them the government mileage for that, which really doesn't cover the expenses because gas prices are so high right now.
Though prices are high, flower shops are ensuring mothers in the valley have a bouquet for a special day. Reporting in Roanoke, Connor Arthur, wdbj7.
And many Virginia Tech students spent their Mother's Day taking tests instead of spending time with mom. I know this actually happened to my brother. He was unfortunately not able to come eat with us yesterday, but I'm sure he'll get to see us soon. But this comes after a cyber attack last week that caused the university to have to reschedule final exams. The cyber attack happened on Thursday and knocked out a system called Canvas. Students use it to check grades and access class materials. Canvas is now back up, but students told us the disruption has been a major inconvenience. And Virginia Tech is encouraging people to be aware of phishing emails or other cyber attacks. And we are almost through the month of May, so it is a safe bet that you can go ahead and put your plants outside in pots or in the ground. But before you start, there are a couple of things you should do first. So our very own Nisi Payne tells us everything we need to know in this Grown Here at Home.
Neil Cox, owner of Country Corner Farms in Roanoke County, will tell you it doesn't matter what year it is, it'll always be an interesting growing season. This year is the drought. Next year it could be too much rain. Who knows?
You might have a perfect growing season once every 10 years.
It's just part of the ups and downs of growing things. But don't be discouraged. You can overcome the obstacles. You just need a good strategy is all. So before you buy plants or put your first one in the ground, take a moment to look up.
You need to know your light. So if you get full sun, part sun, shade, I mean, that's the number one question we always ask, and that's the number one question nobody knows because they walk out the front door, but they don't ever look up.
Knowing how the sun hits your yard will make all the difference in how well your plants do.
A full sun plant will live in the shade, but it won't bloom. And a full shade plant will die in the sun. You know, a beautiful plant is beautiful because they knew where to put it.
Once you've settled on the best place for your plants to grow, you can't come back 2 months later and expect something great because your plants will probably be dead. Believe it or not, Neil tells me people do this all the time. So don't let that be you. You've got to keep an eye on your plants.
If they're wilted, they need water. If they're yellow, they need fertilizer. Success in planting is all in how much time you want to put into it.
It's all trial and error. Find something you want to plant and see what happens.
I think people's main problem is that they're not willing to try either. We have some people that say, oh, I kill everything. Well, you know, the only way you're going to succeed is to try.
You just might find you have a green thumb after all. In Roanoke County, Nisi Payne, wdbj7.
All right, and most people, or well, most women, that is, will go through menopause, and that time of a woman's life has a profound impact on mental health and well-being. So in this Hometown Health, Amir Massenberg tells us how it affects the brain and ways to cope.
It's traditionally been a taboo topic, but menopause is finally getting the attention it deserves.
And it's such a relief to hear women talk about it now.
Dr. Lulu Zhao with Cleveland Clinic says more women are becoming aware of this natural stage in life. Physical symptoms may include hot flashes and night sweats, problems with sleep, inability to lose weight, joint aches, and hair and skin changes. But she says the way menopause causes significant shifts in hormones can also impact mental health.
During this time, these unstable sex hormones really wreak havoc on the brain.
Zhao says it can lead to irritability, being distracted, even clinical depression or anxiety.
The midlife is a tricky time for women, Mandy. You know, we have a lot of demands. We're juggling careers, family, our aging parents. So I do think this is a good cue for women to kind of step back, take stock of their lives, and decide where they want to prioritize their energy.
Zhao says coping with menopausal mood symptoms starts with self-care. Eat a healthy, balanced diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise. She says these things have been shown to improve depressive symptoms in all phases of life. And give yourself some grace. It's okay to not be 100%. Finally, stay engaged in activities you find rewarding and enjoyable.
Even if you don't really feel like doing them, by the time you're done doing them, your mood is lifted.
Well, Dr. Zhao says if the mental health symptoms of menopause impair daily functioning, or if you find yourself not sleeping or withdrawing, feeling sad or negative, or if you're struggling, you could meet criteria for a major depressive episode, and treatment can help you. For your Hometown Health, I'm Amir Massenberg.
Okay, some great information there. And for nearly 100 years, the Texas Tavern in downtown Roanoke has been the only place to get the iconic cheesy Western burger, but that changed this week. In this Heart of Our Hometowns, Logan Sherrill explains how the famous burger landed in the Big Apple.
It's a rite of passage for anyone who calls Roanoke, Virginia home. A trip downtown to the little white brick building, and it doesn't matter if it's your first or your millionth time, the Texas Tavern never changes.
Towns, if they're lucky, have unique places like the Tavern.
Over the years, we've had cameras inside Matt Bullington's 10-stool family diner catching politicians leaning up through the walk-up window, a proclamation being delivered, the hamburger sign restoration, and in 1988, when the hot dogs and famous chili were to be sold at Snappy's.
Well, it'll be the same as they get here. They've been getting here for 58 years.
As the world evolved, the tavern remained, serving the same classics today as they did nearly 100 years ago.
Day one, we started with a Western. And then sometime in the 30s, my grandfather added the cheese to create the cheesy Western.
But there was a line in that 1988 story that said,
"If you have a craving for a cheesy Western, you'll still have to visit the tavern. The special burgers won't be sold anywhere else."
True in '88, not the case in 2026.
People around here have loved it for many years, so we'll let people in New York City love the cheesy Western.
For the first time ever, the special burger that made the Texas Tavern famous is being sold somewhere other than Roanoke. It's the featured Burger of the Month at Hamburger America in New York City.
The cheesy Western is an iconic American hamburger.
George Moats, the owner of Hamburger America, is what you would call a true burger scholar, a title he earned the old-fashioned way, traveling the country and writing the book on more than 200 must-try burger joints in America.
If there's a dean of hamburgerology in the United States, it's George Moats. You know, he's put the time in. He's been to probably more hamburger restaurants, I would guarantee you, than any other person on the planet.
Most recently, he named the tavern as one of the top 4 burger spots in the South in Southern Living magazine.
The beauty of this burger is that unlike most burgers in America, it has an egg on it. I don't know who invented it or why it happened, but it has stayed on the menu for many, many, many decades.
Earlier this week, Matt, alongside George, in front of a crowd of burger-loving New Yorkers, gave a history lesson and a demonstration on how to craft the perfect cheesy Western.
Texas Tavern also uses a very specific, very important family recipe for their relish. It is a cabbage mustard-based relish that is fantastic.
Him put the cheesy Western on the menu and having a little slice of Roanoke, Virginia, and New York City, and a little slice of the Texas Tavern up here. It's great. We've been around almost 100 years. We're glad to finally make it up to New York City. And
we were there to capture yet another milestone in the long legacy of the Texas Tavern that once started with an egg and a piece of cheese.
My great-grandfather probably had no idea this little place that he started in 1930 is actually still going.
A little place that now has its name on display for the world in the Big Apple. In Roanoke, I'm Logan Sherrill, sharing this heart of our hometowns. George Moats, the owner.
All right, I love it. And to see other Heart of Our Hometowns or any other of our franchise pieces, definitely go to our website to check those out. And don't go anywhere, because when we come back after this quick break, we're going to take a look at your First Alert Hometown weather forecast. Meteorologist Tanner Brammer is going to join us to tell us everything we need to know about today and our upcoming rest of our work week. So stay with us. We will be right back in just about 2 minutes.
4 burger spots in the South in Southern Living magazine.
The beauty of this burger is that unlike most burgers in America, it has an egg on it. I don't know who invented it or why it happened, has stayed on the menu for many, many, many decades.
Earlier this week, Matt, alongside George, in front of a crowd of burger-loving New Yorkers, gave a history lesson and a demonstration on how to craft the perfect cheesy Western.
Texas Tavern also uses a very specific, very important family recipe for their relish. It is a cabbage mustard-based relish that is fantastic.
Him putting the cheesy Western on the menu and having a little slice of Roanoke, Virginia, and New York City, and a little slice of the Texas Tavern up here. It's great. We've been around almost 100 years. We're glad to finally make it up to New York City.
And we were there to capture yet another milestone in the long legacy of the Texas Tavern that once started with an egg and a piece of cheese.
My great-grandfather probably had no idea this little place that he started in 1930 is actually still going.
A little place that now has its name on display for the world in the Big Apple. In Roanoke, I'm Logan Sherrill, sharing this heart of our hometowns. George Moats, the owner of Hamburger.
I love it. And to see other Heart of Our Hometowns or any other of our franchise pieces, definitely go to our website to check those out. And don't go anywhere, because when we come back after this quick break, we're going to take a look at your First Alert Hometown weather forecast. Meteorologist Tanner Brammer is going to join us to tell us everything we need to know about today and our upcoming rest of our work week. So stay with us. We will be right back in just about 2 minutes.
4 burger spots in the South.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here. Immerse yourself in stunning video. Feel the power of movie theater quality sound and consistent volume across channels. Get the most out of live coverage with enhanced internet content. Next Gen TV, designed to be upgradable with the advancements of tomorrow. The future of television has arrived. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
It is time to see the good side.
I made this book to really inspire people.
I'm Deborah Alfarone. Join me each week for stories that uplift, inspire, and remind us of the good happening all around us.
It can save somebody's life.
Because we could all use a little more good in our day.
The Good Side, Saturdays, only on Local News Live. Check your local listings on localnewslive.com.
Thanks for staying with us here on wdbj7 Plus. Meteorologist Tanner Brammer is joining us now. Tanner, how are you doing today?
Well, you know what, Michaela? I'm actually doing fantastic. I'm glad to see some of that liquid gold falling out of the sky right now.
Yes, we have really been desperate for some rainfall, and so it was really coming down on the way to work. I had my windshield wipers going crazy and just slowing down, but, you know, we definitely need it.
We do indeed, and it's been quite a while since we've seen a widespread rain like this, and that's honestly the big thing that we're giving you that first alert on, which will be that rainfall that's probably going to take shape here for the next couple of hours. Now, the only unfortunate part about this is that it's not going to be an all-day type of event. We're probably going to dry out late this afternoon and into the evening, and that's actually going to lead to a gorgeous day tomorrow. But you can see on a live shot of downtown Roanoke, got some raindrops on the lens. That rain is still continuing across most of the region, including in Roanoke City, and there actually have been a couple of weak storms that have been able to form as well. So with some of these storms that form, don't be surprised if you see a brief period of maybe some heavier rain here and there. Flooding, not really all that much of a concern, simply given that we've been so dry recently, the ground is not saturated whatsoever. But it's not only in Roanoke that we're seeing that rain take shape. Like I said, you can see dreary conditions really all across the region, which a dreary day, typically not really all that much of a positive reaction from the public, but given the fact that we need that rain so much, today looking like a fantastic day. Very great day to stay inside, if at all possible. But a current look at satellite and radar, you can see what I mean here. Just about the entire region seeing at least a light rain. The only exception is maybe a little bit of a dry pocket of air over toward Alta Vista, but that's a little bit of an anomaly. We're going to see these showers continue for most of the region here, at least for the next couple of hours before that cold front moves all the way through, and that's going to scour out most of that rain by this evening. But I want to show you what we've seen over the past 12 hours when it comes to those rain amounts. Just about every single hometown has already picked up on at least a measurable amount of rainfall thus far, with a lot of hometowns, including here in Roanoke, seeing at least a half an inch of rain. And see some of those specks of yellow on that map there? Those are areas that have seen a full inch of rain. So hoping to at least put a dent in that drought monitor, but as far as fully busting that drought, probably not going to be the case. We'd probably need to see a rain like this every single week for the next, I'd say, 3 to 4 months to fully get us out of that drought. But this is definitely a good start to get some better conditions, especially for some of those farmers cameras out there. Now, timing the day out for the rest of this rain, it will probably end by about 4 or 5 o'clock later this evening. So for any of those that are probably doing anything outside later in the day today, it is going to be dry, but it's also going to be cooler. Because of that cold front making its way through, it's going to bring in that cooler air behind it and some breezy winds out of the north and the northwest. And it's going to be those breezy winds that make it feel a bit chilly outside, especially after that sun goes down. But even then, it's not really all that warm right now. It's only 52 degrees right now in Roanoke, 48 up in Lexington, 44 in Hot Springs. So may need a light jacket if you do have to head outside, not only for the rain, but those cooler temperatures as well. Now, as we head into the rest of the day, that sun is going to come out, and it could warm us up a couple more degrees, but it's not going to be a warm evening by any means. Average high is about 76 or 77 for this time of year. We're going to be well below that. But that cold front's going to blow all the way through, making for a little bit of a cool evening, but we're going to calm back down in the way of those winds going into tonight. And then for the day tomorrow, we're actually going to set for some pretty nice weather for your Tuesday. We're going to see more sunshine kick into the region, and that's going to lead to some better temperatures than what we're seeing today. But that's actually going to be after a little bit of a chilly start to the day tomorrow. You notice overnight lows for tonight down into the low 40s and even the upper 30s in a couple of locations. But Kayla, I cannot believe that I am talking about 30s possible in the forecast during the second week of May. But it feels like we've seen a lot of wild weather here over the past couple of months, and it feels like that theme's only going to continue.
Yeah, it's been like we've just seen the extremes.
Yes.
You know, it hasn't really been consistent. We had 80s yesterday, and now we are 20, 30 degrees cooler today. Yeah, so it's really just been a back and forth. I think that's just something to do with living in Virginia, I guess.
Yeah, something to get used to. You haven't put away your coat just yet, have you? At least your like moderate winter coats.
I want to really badly because I feel like if I do, then maybe it'll be like a kind of a manifestation thing of getting rid of the cold. But I did bring my jacket.
Sorry to rain on your parade, but Mother Nature doesn't play by those rules. She does whatever she wants. So probably going to need that jacket early tomorrow morning. But as we head into tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be a lot more comfortable. Definitely won't need it later in the day. Now, average high for this time of year is going to be about 76 or 77. We're still going to be slightly below that for a daytime high tomorrow, but still very gorgeous of a Tuesday afternoon taking shape. Like I said, a lot more sunshine to go around, calmer winds. Tomorrow will be a much better day to do something outside if you desire. And I'm also happy to say that tomorrow morning is probably going to be the only truly chilly morning that we'll see here for the foreseeable future. Now, taking a look at this drought monitor, we saw the new issue come out on Thursday last week. You've probably seen this a couple of times already, that extreme drought extending into a couple more hometowns, now including the cities of Lynchburg, Alta Vista, down toward Martinsville, and even part of Galax. Now, the cutoff day, or the cutoff time for this drought monitor, believe it or not, is actually Tuesday morning at 8 a.m. So this, what you're seeing right now, doesn't include Wednesday's rainfall last week. But the new one that comes out this upcoming Thursday, that's going to include Wednesday last week's rainfall as well as today's rainfall. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that we can see some of that red hopefully diminish off the map, and maybe some of that severe drought maybe back off a little bit as well. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But luckily, we will be talking about another rain chance entering the region on Wednesday. Unfortunately, probably not as widespread or soaking of a rain as what we are going to see today. This actually might be a little more conducive for a little bit more of a stormy environment. Now, it's not going to be too warm of a day on Wednesday, so it's not going to be a ton of instability for some of these potential storms to work with, but still could be a little bit of daytime heating, which could provide for a couple of weak to moderate storms. Could provide for some gusty winds as well. Not a severe outbreak expected, but something to keep in mind if you are heading out and about Wednesday afternoon or evening. Some of those storms could pack just a little bit of a punch. But that cold front's looking to blow all the way through by late Wednesday evening into Wednesday night, and that's again going to cool us down for the day on Thursday before we warm right back up going into the end of the week and this weekend. Taking a look at that super 7-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures a little bit all over the place here for the next 7 days. Like I said, average highs in the mid to upper 70s will be at or below that here for the next 4 to 5 days. Nothing too noteworthy about those temperatures aside from those chilly temperatures expected for tonight, but by the time we hit Friday, we're going to rebound back closer to normal, and then by the time Saturday and Sunday rolls around, I'll tell you what, for those summertime fans, that will be your time to shine. Warmer temperatures just in time for the weekend, back into the 80s, and some models are maybe indicating some 90s for a couple of hometowns during the day on Sunday.
Woohoo! That just put a smile on my face.
Yeah,
I
a lot of
love
people probably
seeing
cheering.
that. Yes, perfect time for the weekend to get outside, go to the pool. I know I went, what day was it? I think on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, Saturday I went to the pool and just laid out out. It was real nice. So been really enjoying that. But yeah, today's not the day.
No, definitely not the day today. Stay inside and watch TV, play video games, make yourself a big old pot of chili or something for the cooler temperatures. Whatever you want to do.
Right, yeah, there you go. Just maybe go ahead and put the coats up, or get all the summer outfits out. No, I don't know. Like you said, might want to keep them out just for a few more days, just in case. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tanner, and thank y'all for staying with us. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more WDBJ7 Plus after this.
Severe outbreak expected, but something to keep in mind if you are heading out and about Wednesday afternoon or evening. Some of those storms could pack just a little bit of a punch. But that cold front's looking to blow all the way through by late Wednesday evening into Wednesday night, and that's again going to cool us down for the day on Thursday before we warm right back up going into the end of the week and this weekend. Taking a look at that super 7-day forecast, we're going to see those temperatures a little bit all over the place here for the next 7 days. Like I said, average highs in the mid to upper 70s. Will be at or below that here for the next 4 to 5 days. Nothing too noteworthy about those temperatures aside from those chilly temperatures expected for tonight. But by the time we hit Friday, we're going to rebound back closer to normal. And then by the time Saturday and Sunday rolls around, I'll tell you what, for those summertime fans, that will be your time to shine. Warmer temperatures just in time for the weekend, back into the 80s, and some models are maybe indicating some 90s for a couple of hometowns during the day on Sunday.
Woohoo! That just put a smile on my face.
Yeah,
I
a lot of
love
people probably
seeing
cheering.
that. Yes, perfect time for the weekend to get outside, go to the pool. I know I went, what day was it? I think on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday I went to the pool and just laid out. It was real nice. So been really enjoying that. But yeah, today's not the day.
No, definitely not the day today. Stay inside and watch TV, play video games, make yourself a big old pot of chili or something for the cooler temperatures. Whatever you want to do.
Right, yeah, there you go. Just maybe go ahead and put the coats up, or get all the summer outfits out. No, I don't know. Like you said, might want to keep them out just for a few more days, just in case. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much, Tanner, and thank y'all for staying with us. But don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more WDBJ7 Plus after this.
Outbreak expected, but something to keep in mind if you are
Aging Untold.
That's a hot button for me right there.
A new one-of-a-kind show that shines a light on the real issues of aging in America.
It's really about health span, not lifespan.
It's honest talk with real solutions. Tools the whole family can use.
Whatever problem you're trying to solve it from a place of collaboration.
Aging isn't the end. It's a new chapter.
Isn't that the goal, just to age just as well as you can?
Aging Untold. Check local listings on aginguntold.com.
Looking for a media career with a digital-first edge? At Gray, engaging content is our passion, delivered across all platforms. Join us to create, inform, and entertain while building relationships and boosting local businesses. With over 100 locations nationwide, your journey can start anywhere. Embrace a culture.
Thank y'all so much for staying with us here on WDBJ7 Plus. As a reminder, we are live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m., where we talk about your top local stories, we take a look at your weather, and we do some exclusive interviews too, and just lots of exclusive content that you can only find here on WDBJ7 Plus. And just also as a reminder, if you are watching on Facebook, I'm going to take a minute now to show you how you can watch us over on our website. This is our homepage here, and as you can see, you've got the banner at the top that says live streams up here. And so if you click on that, that's where you can watch our WDBJ7
Grainger offers professional grade products, easy ordering.
You can watch that anytime, anywhere, no matter where you are. And you can also watch this on your smart TV as well on the WDBJ7 app under live streams. And that's where you can also see our traditional newscast. So our noon newscast that's coming up here in about 30 minutes will be here. The 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6 shows, those all run there. We also have Aging Untold that you see here. That's a new talk show that comes on every day as well. And we also have our, look there, you can see me there talking. But yeah, and so we also have over here on this WDBJ7 Plus tab, this is like our pre-recorded content. So this is last Friday's WDBJ7 Plus show. We also have Hometown Sports Huddle, which is every weekday at 6:30 p.m., where the guys just get together and they talk everything sports. We've also got our specials that our anchors put together. So you've got your Aging Untold special, Hometown Eats, Grown Here at Home. Those are all exclusive to WDBJ7 Plus. And again, this is on your smart TV as well. If you download our WDBJ7 app, you can find all this over there too. So and if you have been watching WDBJ7 Plus recently, you'll know that Local News Live also comes on, and that is our parent station, our parent company, Gray. They put together national content and also show some local content from all over the country, and that is actually being moved to 2:00 p.m. starting every day from here on out. They will be on WDBJ Plus at 2 p.m. and actually have a little preview of what's going to be coming up on there today. Ryan Henson has more on that.
Credit cards can be great for convenience and perks, but when that balance starts to build, debt can be hard to manage. Our investigative team has tips on how to get back in control of your credit cards right here on Local News Live.
That's a new talk show. All right, yeah, so just a little preview there. We'll talk about credit cards and everything you'll need to know about getting out of debt. So that sounds pretty interesting there. But yeah, they do a lot of local news, but also national coverage on all the big stories you need to know. And so again, that's at 2:00 today. And we also have our weather show that comes on at 1:30 every weekday here on WDBJ7 Plus. So make sure to go check that out over on our website or on your streaming device. So yeah, again, thank y'all so much for watching today's show. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see y'all back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Thanks for watching. Hometown